In this lecture, we will cover Awadh. In the previous lectures, we have seen about different autonomous states like Bengal. Then we have also seen about Karnataka and Hyderabad, how these states were formed and who were the rulers of these states and what were their contribution in administration and military. In Bengal also we saw about the three rulers, Murshid, Alivardi and Siraj-ud-Dawla. Now we will see to Awadh. So the state of Awadh was founded by Shadat Khan in 1722 to 39. The Suba of Awadh was strategically situated where? It was situated in the north bank of the Ganges and the Himalayas, and it extended from the Kannauj district of the West River to Karamnasa in the east. It comprised Banaras and some district near Allahabad. So it was a very big state. We can see it from its geographical extent also. Now, Awadh was also very much economically prosperous as Bengal was. In the 18th century, it enjoyed flourishing agriculture as well as trade because it had a very good fertility of the soil. As we know that Awadh, the state of Awadh was founded by Sadat Khan in 1722 and he ruled up to 39. He was a very bold and a very intelligent person, Sadat Khan. In 1722, he was appointed as a governor of Awadh by the Mughal emperor to collect no taxes or revenue, land tax from the Awadh. So he was given that duty because during that time, ancient time, during 70s, 1720s, what happened? No, the zamindars were very rebellious in nature and it was very difficult to collect the subsidy charges from them. So it was very important to appoint a very good ruler there. So Sadat Khan was appointed by Mughal emperor to collect the land tax and behave like a land tax. But he refused to but the farmers or the zamindars who were there, they always used to refuse to pay to the land tax and behave like an autonomous chief. But as Sadat Khan was a very brilliant and a very intelligent person, he knew how to task them and how to task it off that he collects it. So he was successful in collecting the tax within a year, and in the appreciation, Muhammad Shah conferred on him the title of Burhan ul Mulk because he was successful in collecting the land tax from the region of Awadh. That's why Muhammad Shah conferred him the title of Burhan ul Mulk. Till here it is clear? So now let's further move. Soon afterward, he returned to Delhi. After he collected the tax from Awadh, he returned to Delhi, and but then what happened? There were quarrels in the court. In the court politics, he was facing favoritism, which he didn't like, and he was very much frustrated because of the court politics. So he decided to build up a power base in Awadh region itself. As a first step, he got his nephew, son-in-law Safdarjung recognized by the emperor as his deputy governor. So now it was a very powerful move done by Sadat Khan that I will also rule in the Awadh and I will take Safdarjung, who is the son-in-law of him, in the region of Awadh, and he was recognized as a deputy governor by the Mughal emperor now. In this way, he made a province a hereditary position and gradually secured an independence of Awadh. धीरे धीरे उन्होंने क्या किया? He established a toehold in this region. In 1723, we see that Sadat Khan has introduced a new land revenue settlement and improved a lot of peasants by leaving equitable land revenue like Bengal Nawabs. He too did not discriminate between Hindus and Muslims. He was also a tolerant leader, a king, emperor. His troops were very well trained and well paid. His administration was very efficient in working. By 1735, we see that Sadat Khan extended his influence to the adjoining regions of Kora, Jahanabad, Banaras, Jaunpur, Ghazipur and Chunagarh. During this entire period, he kept his communication channels open with imperial court, that was Mughal court, so that they didn't think that it is now rebellious in nature, it is rebelling. It had a very friendly relationship with them also. In 1739, we see that Sadid Khan was called to Delhi to assist Mughal Empire to fighting against the invader Nadir Shah, because there was a foreign invasion. So the Mughal Emperor needed help, so they called Sadid Khan to help in 1739. However, he was taken as a prisoner in the Battle of Karnal. He felt very frustrated when the position of Mir Bakshi went to Nizam despite his support during the invasion. During the invasion, he was called to Delhi, and Sadid Khan even supported the Mughal Empire, but he lost the battle. They lost the battle, and he was taken as a prisoner in the Battle of Karnal. And when he returned, he saw that Mir Bakshi was made Nizam. He felt very bad, betrayed, and vengeance changed side, joined Nadir Shah. What he did that Sadid Khan joined hands with Nadir Shah, but they played a very dirty game again. He was again in the clutches of a dirty game. His dirty game recoiled on him when the invaders demanded a sum of 20 crores promised to him. In sheer frustration, Sadid Khan poisoned himself to death, thus committing suicide the day after the occupation of the Delhi. So what happened that because he was in a lot of frustration, now he has joined hand with Nadir Shah. Nadir Shah was an invader, which he should have not joined the hands. He was in betray. Now what happened? Nadir Shah also played a dirty game with him. He said to give him 20 crores rupees, which was promised to him, and again it was not promised. It was a very wrong words which were said to him to give. He was in frustration. That's why he committed suicide by drinking poison, and he himself led to death. After him comes the Safdarjung or Abul Mansur Khan in 1739 to 54. Safdarjung was son-in-law of the Sadid Khan, and he was the only one who was made governor, deputy governor by the Mughal emperor. Now, Nadir Shah remained the emperor of India for just 2 months only. He recognized Safdarjung as the successor of Awadh by accepting 2 crores as Peshak. So Safdarjung gave 2 crores of Peshak to Nadir Shah, and after 2 months he went. Now, Jung opportunity really came when Muhammad Shah and Nizam Mulk died in 1748. He was appointed as Wazir by the new emperor Ahmad Shah, and his successor popularly came to be known as the Nawab Wazir. He also granted the province of Allahabad because he was somewhere loyal towards the Afghan who invaded. So they made him first of all they gave him to rule Awadh. Then he was also appointed as Wazir. Then after that he and his successor were popularly came to be known as Nawab Wazir, and then he was also granted province of Allahabad. He gave a long period of peace and stability in the regions of Awadh and Allahabad before his death in 1754. He supported rebellious zamindars and made a good alliance with Maratha Sardars to save his province from Marathas' intrusion, and he set up an equitable justice system. He did not discriminate on the religious ground. The highest post in the government was held by Hindu Maharaj Nawab Rai. So it can be seen that he was a tolerant Muslim. He even followed a pacific religious policy. Safdarjung maintained a very high standard of personal morality. He was a man of moral, and like this only he was one who was successful in keeping a long-term peace and stability in the region of Awadh. After him comes the Suja-ud-Dawla. Now, Suja-ud-Dawla rules from 1754 to 1775. After Safdarjung's death in 1754, his son Suja-ud-Dawla, not to be confused with Suja-ud-Din who was of Bengal, he was Suja-ud-Dawla. He was appointed as governor of Awadh. His role can be seen in the Battle of Panipat, where the Afghan invaders Ahmad Shah Abdali arrived again in India in 1761, and for the third Battle of Panipat against the Marathas, Suja joined the Afghan invaders, and he saw this an opponent. The Marathas humbled and weakened. Within the two dominions of Awadh and Allahabad, his autonomous power remained unchallenged till his encounter with English East India Company in the Battle of Buxar. So what happened that in the Battle of Panipat, he fought against the Marathas, and Suja joined the Afghan invaders. Suja because his we see that Safdarjung also had a good relations with the Afghan invaders. So Suja even joined the Afghan invaders and see his opponents, the Marathas, humble and weakened. Then we see that till this time he was a good, but after East India Company came, he had to face many encounters because the main challenge came then only. What happened? Awadh and Allahabad, his autonomous power remained unchallenged till his encounter with East India Company in the Battle of Buxar. His role was very dominant in the Battle of Buxar in 1764, which was fought. So, Battle of Buxar was fought by an alliance made by the Nawab of Bengal and Nawab of Awadh, but they lost the battle. Battle of Buxar was won by the East India Company, and East India Company made them sign Treaty of Allahabad. Now, according to Treaty of Allahabad, Sujah-ud-Dawla had to pay war indemnity, which was uh, cost of the British also, how much money they spent in the war. Now that much amount also Awadh has to pay that, and they even had to pay 2,10,000 monthly for the brigade of the company troops that would remain present in Awadh. So they made them sign a subsidiary alliance also. After him comes the Asaf-ud-Dawla, who ruled from 1775 to 97. After the death of Sujah-ud-Dawla in 1775, his son Asaf-ud-Dawla became the Nawab. In 1775 itself, he shifted his capital from Faizabad to Lucknow. And he was the one who made Lucknow culture very vibrant and distinct, giving rise to Lucknow culture. We see that in his reign only it became a second home for a. Now we can see that all the rulers who had lost their empire or something, they were coming to Lucknow and settling here because it had become a second home for sensitive men of letters of who had left Delhi and laminated of the worlds they had lost. He was the one who also built the famous monument Bada Imam Bada in Lucknow. He has who he was the one who did not receive from the lords will receive it from Asaf-ud-Dawla. Jinko na de Mola, usko de Asaf-ud-Dawla. These types of these types of sayings were said to Asaf-ud-Dawla. So he was a very generous man. We are done with Awadh. In the next lecture, we will cover new states. In the new states, we will see the Marathas, and Marathas is a big topic itself. Then we will see the Sikhs, Punjabs, and the Jats. Thank you, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel.